I think that's fair. I did have a couple of people say that they didn't know what was playing unless they could see it in chat, but also I have it up here now and I don't know how to turn this off. So enjoy both sides of whatever's happening here. Also, Song Request should be on, so I have to turn that on. Also, also, how do I sound? I can't see the chat either. Everything's falling apart immediately. Wait, hold on. Wait. I'm fixing. Okay, now I can say it. Oh, God, now I don't know where viewer rewards are, channel points. Everything's so big. Okay, song requests are on. If a song is heavy metal and sounds like... I know it's the down system. Fair. I continue to say that Mesmerize and Hypnotize are two of the greatest albums ever made because they came out at the same time, and there's just banger after banger on both albums. You can use Snip. It's a program that ties into Spotify or whatever else to automatically show you song names. Yeah, but I was saying I don't want them in the chat because we're going to be on this scene the whole time, and I have it up here. You know what I mean? So there's a redundancy for people who kept saying, what song is this? And I would be like, so, yeah, you sound perfectly. Oh, what kind of news do you have? I also have to finish doing my 100 Years of Duty. I don't know that band. Or is it Wishful Simping? I don't know what we're about to hear. The workers for Vallejo paints have been on strike for the past few weeks, which is the paints I've started using and haven't been able to buy. Oh, they won the strike? Oh, nice. Congrats to them. Very nice, very nice. Hold on. I know what I'm doing. I understand how to promote myself on my socials. Yes. Definitely no one has to worry about this. We'll get a System of a Down reunion in 30 years, maybe. I mean, oh, the name of the song is Wishful Simping? What up? No, it's 100 Years of Duty. The name of the person doing it is Wishful Simping. You know what? Either way, powerful. That's I was literally about to buy a Superman miniature because of the trailer and I couldn't find the blue. So big W, hell yeah. What was I doing? I'm posting on TikTok that I'm live. I definitely, oh my God, the Christmas font is disgusting. Where's the regular one? Okay, whoo, that was terrible and terrifying. The Christmas font is illegible on TikTok, just in case anyone was wondering. Yeah, Crush 40 totally works for the vibe I'm going for. We're doing it, we're doing it. Can I send a link to Titans? Never mind, Whispers worked. You can do whatever you want. I am not in charge of you. You are capable. I'm not in charge of anyone other than myself, and I'm barely in charge of her, so. And any day TikTok, my phone has been a nightmare lately. All right, silent story, let's go. No one will think that that's weird on TikTok, right? The drummer is hardcore alt-right Trump fan, and the rest of the band is hardcore alt-left on the side of multiple. Oh. There's some, that is a lot of drama. Oh yeah, because we didn't get to hear that last night. You tried to have that play last night. That's probably why System of a Down won't get back together. They won't get back together after those last two songs because those last two songs were a little rough, if we're being honest. But that's also kind of irrelevant, I think. I don't think that they were that bad. Is Surge say he's done. I think he's just like straight up invested in the coffee business currently. I think that's what it is. Right? Like he's just super invested in his new coffee business. And also like I'm gonna be real with you guys. System of a Down wasn't the same after Darren decided that he also wanted to sing. Maybe that's just me. But that is true. All right. I wonder if I can get... Hold on. Am I smart enough to do what I want in this moment? Boy, howdy if I am, we're going to be on to something. I've Googled it so many times. That's really funny. Without Surge, System of a Down is just System of a... That's true. I want to pull up a picture. Open, new tab. So tiny. Minuscule, some might say. Surely there's got to be a bigger version of this. System of a Down without Surge is like Smath Out without its singer. May he rest in peace. Because boy howdy, he is super no longer with us. Okay. I can figure this out. I want to get a picture of Faye up on the screen. So that you know what I'm talking about. Because I have it on my phone. But like... Sorry, I have to open my phone. I have the picture on my phone, but if you can't see it... And I can't just be like, here, image in the bottom. That's not going to work. So I'm trying to pull up the picture. So that it's like... Here. They played a Surge cover of Blue... Oh, they played a Blue Oyster Cult cover? Was it Don't Fear the Reaper, the only Blue Oyster Cult song that everybody knows? It was the good Godzilla song? Oh, okay. That makes way more sense. Hold. Where are my screenshots? Screenshots? They're not here. Hold on, I can figure this out. I feel like you've tried this before and you also got last time, Taboo. If I send this to... Wait, hold on. How do I... Move to... No. I'm gonna take another screenshot. Go like this, and then send it to my drive, and then be like, "Aw, geez, aw, man, wow." And then when I open my drive, it'll be there. What a weird roundabout way that I have gone about doing things. Okay, and then I download it. And then I download it, I said. And then I open it. And then I find it. Go. I'm gonna have to... The link literally goes to the song I wanted. Oh, you linked the album. Image. Faye. And then that. And go like this. And then downloads. There. Oh my god, she's huge. This is what you guys came here for, right? Oh my god, she's here. What if I just put her over me? No, that's not what we're doing. Okay, I just want her to be right there. Not to cover up anything, because that's almost kind of irrelevant. But because I think it's important that people know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say what I'm doing. Because otherwise, again, just some silly lady in a or talking about a costume that nobody understands what I'm referring to. You know what I mean? So am I skipping this? Okay, perfect. I had to wait for the yes. Because that was a lot even for me. Okay, here's what we're doing. We're moving this out of the way. And then we're putting my hair up. Cut out the arm, tape it to your arm. Cut out the legs, tape them to your legs. Perfect. Okay, so here's the deal. The first thing I'm working on Faye is the glove. The glove, you know? I have made a singular... Actually, I have no idea which hand this goes on. Okay, I've made a singular test. And the test went as well as I thought it would when I was kind of lazily making a glove, just to see if it, like, the pattern even worked. And it kind of does. It's like the right length, I think. But like, I didn't do the finger, like, it was a really quick sewing job, if you will. Because I didn't want to do the actual fabric, but I wanted to make sure that it was a good pattern. Because I don't, the last time I just like did Thanksgiving turkey method and I just traced around my fingers and then it was fine. Why buy long orange glove and not black to match? Oh, no, this is my test fabric. This is just extra fabric I had because the thing about gloves is that gloves are not as, you know, true to size off of your hand as they are on your hand. So I needed to make sure that the pattern I was using was going to be good. So this is my test fabric, but you need 4-way stretch, right? It needs to be stretchy both vertically and horizontally as you put something on, or it's just not going to work, which was my problem with the last glove. I fucked up my last glove that I made for Malinois, and I was really mad. I made it like 3 times in a row and then realized that my fabric was actually not 4-way stretched like I assumed it was. Because I had been going like this every time I needed to do something with it. Because I used it for a like arm or leg band, a thigh band that Malinois has on. And so I thought, oh, it'll work perfectly for the glove and it'll be fine. It was not, and I fucked it up. Anyway, so the glove so far is, I think, good. In so much that it works. But I have tiny baby fingers, so every single piece of the pattern is too big. So I need to cut out another set and take off about 1 centimeter. There's about, I want to say, maybe like a 1/2 centimeter or so of seam allowance on my pattern to put on a regular human's hand. Because let me tell you what, I have freakishly small fingies, and it's just straight up not working unless I do it this way. That was Bear McCreary? I didn't realize that. Powerful. Also, powerful Smash Mouth song. So anyway, I'm going to make a second test set of gloves so that when I do my proportions, I know that they actually work. Because I have a bag of things and things that aren't going in the Faye cosplay. This is the bag of all of the materials I am going to use for Faye. You can tell because there's several wigs worth of hair to make the world's longest ponytail. Let me tell you what, there's going to be so much hair in this wig, I am a little bit intimidated of how much crimping needs to be done. But I have like yards and yards and yards of this really nice dark, it looks way lighter on the camera than it actually is in real life, which is a little alarming. It looks a little bit goofy here. But I have a lot of the fabric I'm actually going to use for like the main part of the costume. But I don't want to cut into this until this is correct. So the reason that I'm using this pink is because I just had a ton of this leftover salmon. It looks so orange. In person, it's very pink. It's like a salmon-y pink color. It looks really weird on camera, though, and I think my IT guy ran an update on the camera, and it's ruined. Everything's messed up. But, yeah, so I'm going to cut out the glove in this And then I'm also, okay, so if you'll notice, you can't really tell. Can I zoom in? Enhance the picture for a second. We go like this, and then I refer to, hold on, I can do this. You see, like at the top of her arm, there's like a little piece that almost looks like an added armor bit on the top. I need to make a pattern because there is no humanly feasible way that will be sewn, just hand sewn spiky bit. That's not going to happen. That doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't work. So I need to saran wrap. This is real. I need to saran wrap my arm and then loosely draw the general shape that I want for that top piece. And then I'll cut it out and I'll lay it down flat. But so I'm going to cut out all the fabric I need for this, just so I have another version ready, because again, this was loose. It works, but like there's so much excess fabric and I could have cut so many different things off, so I'm going to do it again, but slower. So get another test ready, start the patterning, because there's also this part near her wrist. I wish that I had like a pointer that I could use. There's a part right at the end of her wrist that's also basically the same general shape at the top of her glove, and I need to get both of those ready. So I need to firmly wrap my wrist in saran wrap, and then I'm going to use duct tape. Every cosplayer's favorite material, duct tape. It gets the job done every time. I'm going to duct tape over the saran wrap so that I can see the drawing, and then I'm going to cut it out, lay it flat, cut out a bunch of EVA foam, and then cover that in the final fabric and get that ready. So those are the steps
Firmly
that I'm going to take.
grasp it. Yes, yes.
What is this Dave voice? What was that? Weird. So that's the plan. And then I might want to do a general loose pattern of her hand armor bit, but I don't know that I probably can freehand that. I don't really know that I want to, but going for Michael Jackson right now. Yeah, yeah. No, this was the test one. It's too big because my fingers are small. They're so small that when I try to play guitar, I can't use my pinky finger to hit most of the strings. It's very annoying. Did you hear the news about him? No. Tell me everything. I do play guitar. My acoustic guitar is right over there. Oh no. What was the locker full of? 20 unreleased songs? Oh my god. Is that Samir? Can I just mod you like this? I can't! There was a button, Samir! Alright. That was crazy. I just got to hit a button, and it was like nothing had changed at all. Ooh, does that mean that we're closer to our 500 follower goal? Samir, cooking our books. Samir, cook the books harder. We need 2 more followers. We're cooking. We're cooking. All right. I also, this is going to be a little lazy of me. I got out my ironing board because what you're supposed to do when, quickest mod ever. When you're supposed to do when you sew stuff is iron it. And then I'd be like, oh my gosh, wow, do. And I would iron it. But because this is a test, and I don't think that anybody cares about how smooth and flat it'll be, I'm not going to worry about it. Most of my test pieces I do with bed sheets and old curtains that no one wanted anymore. So this is the first time I'm actually going to like my stash of fabric and using nice fabric that I bought. But it's because I don't have anything that's not 4-way test. I could say the same thing to you, Samir. Ooh. Also, yes, song requests are on. They're via channel point. If you're into that kind of thing. If not, it will go back onto a playlist that has such hits as Memory from Sugar Cult, The Anthem by Good Charlotte. What kind of fucking playlist is this? And Circle With Me by Spirit Box. Those are three wildly different vibes. I'm just lurking for most of the day. What the heck is this, Samir? Do you hate my art streams? You're like, oh, you should do an art stream. That would be so interesting. And then you're like, ugh, she's doing an art stream? Disgusting. I'm not going to be there. Nothing wrong with taking over for a bit. Yeah, I don't care. I like listening to everybody's music and seeing if I can find anything new to add to my playlists, you know? So feel free to add whatever you want. You just have to use 100 channel points, which I don't think is too bad. Okay. This is my cutting board. It is very warped. No one judge it. It's also got some, like, spray adhesive from when I was making Sonic the Hedgehog, which is really annoying. There's, like, a bunch of bits of really annoying blue fur everywhere. But that's fine. I made plans for your day off, sue me. You made plans for many of my days on, though, so I feel like you should be here. No, I'm kidding. Do whatever you want. You just have to be here tomorrow. You have to wish me a Merry Crimbus tomorrow, or I'll never forgive you. Okay. So like I said, I was loosely a little bit lazy with this because I just wanted to make sure for sure that when I made this one, that the pattern worked. If you're looking for new music, there's a Spotify playlist I found called Polyjamorous. That's a powerful name. I love that so much. Well, this is more of a, I know that it would be very boring to listen to a silent stream because somebody, me, forgot that Get to Work had no sound in it. And for the first like 5 hours of the experience of watching me play Get to Work, everyone did it in silence. And I'm sure nobody wants that again. So that is why we have on music right now. All right. We're going to pin this. I started to pin it last time. And then I thought, oh, I hate this. And I didn't do it. Well, we're going to be good this time. We're going to be good at our seamstressing. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. What kind of jams are on Polyjamorous? I have to know. Just tell me 3 random songs. This song was made by all 14-year-old kids. I feel like I believe that. I did recently switch to using clips over these sewing pins, but I don't think I can put the pattern down without using pins this time, unfortunately. So here's hoping I don't stab myself. Creed, my sacrifice. Did we ever get the verdict on whether people actually hated Creed and thought that they were bad, or people just didn't like Scott Stapp? What was our consensus on that one? I'm gonna change the way that this is. Ow! Said, I hope I don't stab myself, and then immediately, without fail, stabbed myself. I didn't get my rotary cutter! Ugh, I'm gonna have to get up at some point. You guys are gonna see my dogs. Sorry about that. I don't think they're bad. I just like specific songs. I feel like most people are like that. I found that a lot of people don't like bands. They like songs, and that's about it. Because sometimes I'll ask people what their favorite band is, and they're like, I don't really like music. What do you mean you don't really like music? What does that mean? Huh? So, that was an alarming thing to be told. I know most of them because of wrestling. Listen, I'm telling you. Good songs. Finn Balor theme song. I would rock that all the time. And that's just instrumental. And then Aleister Black's old theme. Oh, I'm frozen. I'm frozen. Panic, panic, panic. I love the face it landed on for me. Boy, howdy. Oh my God, look at me. I'm beautiful. Hello. Insanity. Actually a terrible face to land on. What if I... It's a terrible face. My gosh. What if I hacha? And then I hacha. Aw. You're just quietly trying to figure out how to make my camera come back. I need IT expertise. Good God. Just refresh the camera. I tried. Oh, the whole computer is having an issue. Uh-oh. I don't know. I don't think it's working. You can hear me? OBS is frozen. Oh my gosh. Can I fix myself now? By a shockwave. Oh my gosh. Of all the times to have technical difficulties, this is not it. I'm just gonna keep pinning. Oh, you guys. Oh no, Vika! Vika, my love!
Oh my! Look who's back! It's Vitamin_. Thank you for rating Lynx's channel once again.
Broken.
They've rated this channel 3 times now, and we thank them for their continued raids.
Vika, I'm trying to bring the camera back. Awkward, awkward. My IT guy broke my camera earlier today, and he hasn't taken responsibility for it yet. You know what my favorite part is? I see myself on the camera, but none of you can. I'm trying to unbreak it as best I can. I swear, no foolies, no foolies. What if we just, it's like the old-timey radio. The IT guy is, contemplating what to do. Because he sure doesn't know, but he broke the camera. Unplug it and plug it back in? That's usually my solution. Oh, I don't know what he's doing. Many windows are opening up over and over again. The IT guy better start working. I agree! Oh my God. Is it gonna happen? Oh, something happened. Okay, powerful. We're gonna listen to Creed in the meantime. Oh, there goes the camera. All right, hold on. Hold. We're holding. The camera got turned back on. There's powerful things are happening. Oh, hold on. Oh God. Hold the door. The IT guy is doing in-person IT work right now as we speak. The unplugging and plugging back in is happening. I wish you guys could see it. I'll just have to narrate it for you. He gave a thumbs up. Tell him we're scared. They're scared. They're scared, IT guy. He's touching things, but he's not necessarily doing anything that I quite understand. Oh! Oh! I'm back. We're here. Get the fuck out of here, IT guy. Oh, he gave a thumbs up. All right. Get out. I have to go back to what I was. We did it. I'm not all the way in frame though. Hold on. I have to fix myself. Powerful music in the background. Oh, wait. Oh, no, wrong. Which one? What? My sacrifice. Wait. How the fuck? Oh, there we go. It's fixed. Say thank you. Thank you, IT guy. No. Fuck off. Get out of here. You know the reason. I swear to God, if you break the lance again, I'm gonna have to kill you. Go back to work. he has to go back to the dungeon where he's actually doing a real job. We did it, Reddit! Well, thank you for rating, Vika. I love you as always. What does the dungeon smell like? I don't know. I don't go in there. Perfect. Now you can watch me make a glove. Aw, thank you. Yesterday I had on a really cute sweater, and then it turned out to be summer degrees outside, so I had to take off the sweater, which was very annoying. But, yeah. We also... Did Samir also give you the I have a new username spiel? Because I had to remod Samir today on the channel. And then he left because he made plans as if he had something better to do than hang out with me. Which is rude. I would like to point out Vika came in as Creed started playing. What can we say? Vika's very powerful like that. Oh yeah, Vika! We have new emotes! Look at the new Dave! Yes, it's a powerful sign. Anytime that anything happens to Creed, it's good. Oh, Dave's not even here. Hold on. Hold on, let me get Dave. Isn't he so cute? I made a little badge, Dave. Well, I didn't make it, I commissioned it, obviously. There's new little emotes of me too, but I think that the Dave ones are so cute. Okay, Dave is also here. He's participating. When Dave's with you, you're free. Okay, back to... Oh, thank you, Powellbox, for the follow. We are so close. Okay, this is the other thing that happens. I don't know if this will sway anyone into being the 500th follower, but I told everyone that when I hit 500 followers, I switched back to Vika to tell her to raid Lynxicat. And then you missed all of the technical difficulties, right? When I'm gonna sew. Actually, here, I'll show you. I already did the whole spiel about this. I did a test glove already because this is my test fabric, but I was a little lazy with it. So as nice as the glove already is, test-wise, because now I know that the pattern works. My fingers are too big or too tiny for this pattern. So I'm going to recut out a new glove so that I can get my proportions right to the pattern. I think I need to get like about 1 centimeter of fabric off and then account for the centimeter of seam allowance on every piece. But yeah, because this, I had to find a pattern. I usually do the turkey method where you put your hand down and you trace around. I didn't like the way that that glove came out the first time. So I have a thumb piece. This thumb piece is separate to the rest of the pattern, obviously, which is why this hole is here in the pattern. But yeah, so I'm making a new glove, and then I'm going to, the glove is obviously for the girl on the screen. Hello, hi, her name is Faye. She's from Future Fragments. Taboo Toad is the dev of the game, and he is in the chat right now. It is an 18+ game. I should probably mention that. So if you check out Future Fragments, know that there is booba. There is gratuitous booba. But yeah. So I'm making the character from the video game. I love sewing. My grandmother was a seamstress. I always wanted to sew. She was a terrible teacher. She did not like teaching. And guess what? Neither did I when I was a teacher. So... dab? It's the Bill Gates dab because he only went like this and then put his head down. It's a very powerful video if you've never seen it. This one's an actual dab, I think, though. I also floss poorly in case anyone was wondering. But yeah, if I hit 500 followers before I leave for winter break, because I am gonna fly home for the holidays, my IT guy who wonderfully fixed the... Oh my god, we reached it. Blad, thank you. I'm gonna shave all of my IT guy's facial hair off. I've never seen him without a beard. I'm very scared. So I'm sure that he is... You truly are the hero. We're about to see... No, don't do that, please. He already agreed to it. He's been growing out his beard and his mustache for a while. I'll unfollow if you do it. It's not happening right now. You're good. He said that he really, really wants his facial hair to come off. It's time. So I did not force him to do it. I said, hey, wouldn't it be funny if? And he said yes. So my beard is being sacrificed and it's time. No takebacks. Vika said so. I meant to message. I saw your message right before I went live, Vika, but I am really bad about messages because they make me nervous. But I know that you lately have been playing the League of Legends, and I used to play League of Legends every day for several hundred hours from 2014 to 2021 actually. I played about 8 hours of League of Legends a day. So if you wanted to play League of Legends together, I haven't played for about almost 4 years, but I used to play every day. I think I can switch to the European servers. I only play Aram though. I don't like normals. I do not like normals. I love Aram though, because then we all call mid and we all run it down mid and I'm like, perfect. Yeah. I also really like TFT. TFT was a breath of fresh air right before I had a friend. This'll be part of the reason that you'll understand why I stopped playing. I had a friend who I had just recently introduced to League back in 2021 say, yeah, I love playing League with you even though I hate it because you're so toxic in all chat. And I thought, maybe it's time to no longer play League of Legends. In fairness, she was brand new and people were like, wow, get better, you fucking suck. And I was like, how about you stop smurfing on a level 3 account? She's brand new to the game. I'm trying to teach her. Don't be a butthole. If they take offense to me telling them to not be so angry online, that's their fault. But yeah, she said that and I was like, oh, maybe time to stop. Perhaps I am the one that is the problem. Listen, I played League of Legends so long that I remember the tribunal, which is an old person phrase to say now because the tribunal hasn't been around since 2014. But I used to tell people when I was angry at them in the game, I would go, I'm gonna sick the tribunal on you, and people didn't know what I was talking about. But it was a funny thing to say. But yeah, I figured that we can either do that or, as apparently Samir and the IT guy had suggested, Portal 2, which I would actually like to play. Where is he? Here, hold on, I'll show you. This is how you know I'm deep in the League of Legends sauce. I have a Gnar plushie. He's Shushupana. I started playing, and Gnar was the home screen, was the client login screen. My favorite part about this plush, his little head. It's actually a little hood. And then he can just be Gnar. But yeah, Dino-Gnar's my favorite. When he came out, I cut a pumpkin of him. So that's how you know I really like League. I also had a Popstar Ari mouse pad for a really long time because I loved Popstar Ari. And now she's in KDA, so she's a K-pop star. Wow. I also have a big Jinx statue. I have a gigantic Ziggs statue. And then like, the Misfortune one's really good. I have 2 Earths, a Gangplank, original Gangplank, which is a crazy thing to think about, before his rework. Championship Thresh, and Leona. The Gangplank and the Leona were mystery figures though, because there was when Riot first started making figures, they did these buy one get one free mystery bags, and I was like, why not? So I got them because I think that was around the time that they had actually made a Heimerdinger, I want to say, and I wanted that, but I didn't want to pay full price because I was but a poor back then, as I am now. So I got what I got. But I like Leona quite a bit. And I like Gangplank as well. Well, I liked Gangplank. Not that there's anything wrong with his rework. His rework was so long ago at this point, but yeah, there's something about old Gangplank that really just spoke to me. Even though it was literally just eat orange. That was his whole build, I think, was eat orange. But that's okay. Anyway, those are the things that I have to say is we can either play League of Legends or Portal. I do too. I miss old Yorick. Old Yorick is better than new Yorick, and the thing about it is that for whatever reason, they decided that with every rework, everyone had to be hot, and I do not believe deep down in my jellies that Yorick needed to be hot. I liked that disgusting, gross, grave tender. But Riot thought otherwise. Riot said, you know what? Put an 8-pack on that guy. He's hot now. Which it seems like they also did with, you find Yorick hot now? In comparison to old Yorick? Yes. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Skarner also got a glam up, which is a weird one to glam up. I can post a link. Did he get updated again and I just don't know? Dr. Mundo also had a really weird glam up in his splashes, which I don't agree with. But I think I like my men disgusting and with flaws instead of Volibear that's a gorgeous big polar bear. Maybe this is a me thing. Maybe we're finding out that I'm the weird one. I like this song. Powerful song. Okay. If it's the gross, jaundiced-looking yellow swamp man, then yes, I do remember, but hold on. What links for song requests? Yeah, so if you go into the channel point redemption, because you should have 300 now since you are a follower. Wait, this is Trundle, isn't it? That's not Yorick, that's Trundle. That's Troll Chief, not Troll King. I think. I don't think I made that up. Oh, yeah, no. This is what I'm talking about, though, is that Trundle is hot now. For whomst asked for that? I liked Trundle the way he was. But yeah. I think Riot should reconsider making every single champion hot. Nobody wanted that. I think. I don't wanna say that you shouldn't want to fuck all of the champions in a video game, because maybe that's the thing, right? That's what sells the skins. I don't know. That's why they have so many Ari skins, actually, now that I've thought about it. My eyes have been opened to the marketing scheme. I think that just sometimes I prefer my men stinky and gross and weird. Give me back my ugly monster men. I'll fuck them all. I don't care. I'll do what the others are too afraid to do. I'm sorry. You're even putting in links and it's messing you up, which is kind of lame. Okay. And then I'm going to be super precise. If you want to skip that one I just added. The next song, right? Oh, no, this one? Hold on, let's let this cook for a second. I don't like this. Sugar cold it is. That's okay. I hope that you go have good food and you get good sleep. I hope your glove turns out perfect. Thank you. I love you too. Bye-bye. I message you back later, though. No problemo. I said it out loud, so it'll happen now, actually. Oh, okay. I'm gonna... Okay, hold on. Before I already started marking. That's really funny. This is a water and heat soluble... Ah. Good night. You go to bed. Dave will give you sweet dreams. This is a water-soluble and heat-soluble pen. So, it will, at some point, I'll probably use an iron on it, and the mark that I leave behind will go bye-bye, which is why it's okay that I'm using it on this fabric. Also, this is my test. So even if there was markings left behind, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But, tried to link that. I see. Yeah, sometimes Songify is difficult for no reason, which is always a little lame. Goodness gracious. Sometimes it's a little hard to get it just right, which is why I wanted to pin it down. Because this fabric is a little stretchy, so the lines aren't always great. And then I'm gonna do like a really loose area where I can cut around the fingers. Did that leave any mark? No, it did not. Okay. Isn't... You'd think that sewing was a little bit more precise than what I'm doing, and it is to an extent, but because, like I said, the pattern is a little bit big for me, it's okay that I'm doing this. As long as it's close to right, we should be good. Go underneath the finger. There we go. If you... Are you metric or imperial? I'm a disgusting imperial enjoyer. I've resized enough clothes for my family members to grow tired of it. That's fair. Was that one correct, Taboo? I have to know, inquiring minds. But, oh, okay, sweet. Metric is better for everything except temperature. I agree. That is actually the thing I agree about, is that I think that the metric system makes way more sense than the imperial system, but unfortunately that's what I grew up with, so we have to deal with what life handed to me. And so that's what we're working with. I have to work in inches, which is why it's a little bit silly that I would say I'm going to use 1/2 centimeter to get rid of, but it be what it do, you know? All right. Temperature is good in Celsius. No, I think Fahrenheit also makes more sense, but maybe that's just because when I look at someone telling me Celsius, I'm like, that's suspicious, and I don't understand it. But I think that is a me thing, yet again. Water freezes below 0 makes sense to me. We have to agree to disagree on this one. Let's just use... I also... Okay, but actually, you make... That might be a joke, but I think that Kelvin makes way more sense than Celsius and Fahrenheit, but we're not going to get everyone to agree to that. No shot. I have to go get my sewing scissors and my rotary cutter, so I will be walking back over here to where my sewing machine is. I don't know why I'm talking like that. My microphone's literally on my chest. You can hear me. I don't know my volume. Cringe, cringe. All right. So I think for the most part, I'll be using the rotary cutter, but I have my sewing scissors for the thingy bits and also for the hole in the middle because I can't use this on that. For science, Celsius is good. For human stuff, Fahrenheit. Oh, this sounds like, God. I wonder if I can find it. I hope this doesn't screw anything up. This is also connected to the Spotify on my phone, so it should be okay. I should be able to figure this out. Because there's a song I'm thinking of. Oh, it's in my liked playlist. I don't have to search for it. It'll just be there at the bottom. Because it was one of the first songs I ever liked on Spotify. I think. Within reason. Hold on, there's a lot of water parks I have to scroll through. I have a problem. I just wanted to play after this song because they're the same vibe. It's a good song, too. Is it not on my liked playlist? That can't be right. It's right next to Caro Caro Bonito. I specifically remember the day that I added both of them, even. Because Caro Caro Bonito is a whole vibe. Just me thoughtfully staring at my phone. Okay, there's Caro Caro. There it is. Hold on, I'm adding a song to the queue. The question is, did it happen? Did it go through, or am I gonna have to manually add it? Who knows? We'll find out. Anyway, back to my spiel that I was trying to do. I have primarily been trying to save all of the updates on my Faye cosplay for Patreon, since Patreon is going to get a uber exclusive photo set of my Faye cosplay once it's finished. So if you too would like more thorough updates, then feel free to drop by and check out the Patreon. Yes, yes. Steve would be so proud of my shilling if he was here. Is anybody else, this is a question for everyone in chat, is anybody else excited for the Sonic movie that's coming out today? So many people on all of my socials have already seen it, and I'm so sad because I want to see it so bad. I'm gonna go play board games with friends tonight, but I swear to God,
I very much want to see Shadow. Yes, yes!
See, Dave gets it. I, like, straight up was like, maybe I just tell him I can't come tonight. Let me go see Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm so ready. Taboo, are you here? I need to know if you are seeing the Sonic movie anytime soon, or if you are just in game dev hell and you cannot go and see Sonic the Hedgehog 3 in movie theaters. On Christmas Eve? Oh, man. Everyone's got a time to go see it except me. I have a friend that used to live nearby, and he already went and saw it, so I messaged him earlier, and he was like, I'm trying to see it again today. I was like, what the hell? Someone's gonna lap me. Someone's already lapped me in my life. I know it. That's the worst part. Okay. Be careful, be careful. Man, this is what I should sew to all the time, is this kind of music. Does all of her music sound like this, Taboo? I like this quite a bit. There we go. Pacha, and it was like, there was no fabric there ever at all. Wow. I don't think it added the song I tried to add. It didn't. 3 Days Grace, why? No, it did add it. Wait, what? I'm so confused. It did add it to my queue. It just decided to play 3 Days Grace instead. That's so weird. None of my friends care about Sonic, so I'll probably just wait for it on streaming. Oh, that's so devastating. Oh, thank you for the follow, Blad. I'm so glad that you stopped by with Vika. I hope you have a good night. I wish I had seen that before I started yapping about Sonic. Should I put Sonic up here too? Dave can have his good friend Sonic up here as well. I wouldn't advocate sending music like that, but this chick's music is literally non-existent online. Send it to me. I need more good music in my life. Okay. Man, I really don't want to cut the pattern is the thing. Okay, I think I got it. And then I can cut around the fingies. Okay, there we go. Maybe I do it like this. I think this might work out better for me, actually. It's a little bit scary to do it this way because once my scissors cut paper, it's basically all over. And I'd have to get new sewing scissors, and that would suck. That would suck big time. Okay. Do. There we go. All right. I think we are good to continue to cut like this. Don't quote me on that, obviously. I could be totally off. No, it should be fine. Okay, and then the middle finger, I have to keep both of the fingers together because when the pattern is done, it's going to sandwich together. So those two pieces will go like this, and there'll be one finger on the glove. So we should be good. My father has texted me. Hold on. Not saying that stream isn't important, but my father texting is just as important to me. Sorry. Okay. How dare? Nuh-uh. Heck you, guy. Okay. There we go. Phone. No, also, not doxing my father, but I also have Faye pulled up. The same little Faye. Look, it's Faye and Faye together. I have Faye pulled up on this side for when I need to pattern out the like armor pieces for her. So that should be happening as soon as I finish cutting out the two other pieces. This piece right here kind of like snakes in between each finger on the glove so that there's ample space for each finger individually so that it's not just like you're sandwiching it between one thing. This is the song I was thinking of. I love this song. I do a map in Beat Saber to this specific song. It gets me so hype. It's a great song. Okay, get up there. Oh, there's like one thread. There we go. I can't even remember the first time I heard this song. I just knew that I really liked it. And then I heard Ludwig use it for something at some point. So I know Ludwig super is into this song as well. Did you know that guy's streaming back on Twitch again? He was playing Get to Work last night. While I was playing Get to Work. Oh my god, crazy. Okay, there we go. I think Steve might miss the entire stream, to be honest. Because I have like a, what is it, 3 right now? It's 3:30, Jesus Christ. I have to leave early, which is why I started streaming early. All right, what do I want to do here? I think I can cut out the fingers like this, maybe. Because, like I said, the pattern is too big for my fingers. So I can be a little loose with the tips because they're too big anyway, and I'm going to have to cut off 1 centimeter, which means that this is technically about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 centimeters too long, I want to say. So there's a centimeter on either side of seam allowance, so that's 2, and then each finger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4, 5, 6. So this is also going to be a little bit too big, but I don't think it'll matter that much. Because I think for the original, I didn't like the way that it kind of went through. Like, if you were looking at it up close, you can see it starts over here and then it winds around, but it gets a little funky at the tips every time because the tips are too thick for my fingers. So it just looks funky, but then it stops right here on the fourth finger and there's none on this side. So we shall see. This is all just me postulating at this point, honestly, but it could be right. It could be right. All right. I think it's also important to be able to reuse as much fabric as you possibly can when you do projects. So I try to keep a lot of scrap pieces from each project so that they can be used in the future to test out other projects instead of just wasting a ton of other fabrics. So like this pink one that I'm using right now, it looks so orange on camera. This orange one I'm using was for a bikini I made in the summertime that no one ever got to see because there was a death in my family and I had to postpone the photo shoot. But I used it for what it was for. And then I had enough left over to use on a different project. So I'm going to have 2 fancy gloves to do something with, presumably. But I think it's nice to be able to have all of this extra. All right. We can unpin it now, which is nice. Because I thankfully traced out the hole in the middle, so I don't need the pattern to be attached to the fabric anymore. And I'll know which piece is at the top because of the markings. The other nice thing about this pattern is that to just do the other glove, I just simply flip it over. So really either way, as long as I sewed everything in the correct orientation, it would just be, instead of the left hand, it would be the right hand glove. So I can't screw up, which is very nice. Because there are definitely some patterns where if you do it in the wrong direction, you just ruin the whole thing. But there we go. And then, like I said, you can see that the marker right there is still in the middle. So, is that orange? What part of the outfit is orange? This is my test piece. So, instead of cutting into the actual fabric, which is down here, because the gloves will be this color, not the orange color, but yeah, this is going to be the final fabric. This is the test fabric to make sure that I like the way that it fits before I ruin a bunch of really nice, expensive fabric. So, this weird salmon pink, which is not showing up correctly, is simply for practice. So, it is not the final costume at all. My other option for showing off progress was going to be to work on the wig.
Give it to me! Give me what I want!
Thank you for the follow, Sir Kitty. I appreciate it. But I know that I've done wig prep on stream before, and as fun as it probably would be to sit here and vibe to sick jams, I don't know that you guys want to watch me crimp 10 billion yards of hair. But I think it looks really good. It's so weird. Like, the camera's not picking stuff up right. It's way more purpley, like her hair. Well, like a blue undertone, not purple, but God, it looks so weird on camera. And it doesn't in person. It looks amazing in person. I even got Taboo to give me his approval on the hair color choice. So I know it's okay. It looks terrible on camera, though. I don't understand. Okay. Be like super careful. I don't want to cut out too much of this hole. But it's already so thin as it is. This is a banger. There we go. Doo-doo-doo. Put it over here with all the rest of the scrap fabric. Streamer needs a more powerful camera. Yes, yes. At some point. The thing I would like for realsies is a new microphone. I know that the microphone's probably okay, but the skill issue that I possess in conjunction with that microphone is not it. Good Lord. Gosh. Sometimes I wish I just had an X-Acto knife to do these kind of things. It's so funny. I have a Cricut now. I probably could get a Cricut to cut this out. But then I'd have to figure out how to cut the rest of the glove around it since there's not enough space on the Cricut to make this much fabric go through. It's like a tiny bit at the bottom that's screwed up. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's the base of the glove. Like I said, I think I need to cut out about 1 centimeter. So I'll probably be cutting the glove that much off. But just to make sure that I have all the pieces, I'm going to cut it out the same size as the first time I did it. And we'll see how that goes. But for now, that's over there. And then I'm going to use this small strip. And I think I can fit both the finger spacer as well as the thumb on here. Do I have a smaller piece? They're about the same, but I think I should use this one instead. So, oh, this is a powerful song. Gunship. I like it. I like it. My dad texted me back. Okay. How much hair actually goes into making a wig? I figured there would have been a filler at some point. Actually, I have a great example because this other wig that I'm going to show you, it's kind of right there in the background. You can almost see her. It was technically my test for Faye. Under Ninja. I don't know. I assume Ninja is a song. So this is my Oscar wig. There is, if you'd like to see it on me, there's a free preview of it on my Patreon. That should be the pinned one right now. So this was my Oscar wig that I styled. I keep the little clips on it and everything. I'll wait until he's back then. I'll go back to pinning. That's so funny. Since he did ask the question. Oh, this is the wrong side. Okay, I'm back. What crazy time. I'm sorry. Okay, so this is my Oscar wig that I did for my Oscar cosplay from Evangelion. But I did the pigtails on the back. They're a little crooked because I just put it crooked on the mannequin. I could probably shift them a little bit and it would be fine. But I made them detachable. So the core of the pigtail is insulation foam that I carved to be the shape I wanted, right? You can't really see it because, again, I like glued the whole thing. But you can kind of, if you look in there really close, like, there's insulation foam in here. So most of this isn't even hair. The hair I just heat styled into the shape that was already like pre-existing on here. And then I used PVC pipe that's hidden underneath the base wig to just stick them into place. So that's what I plan on doing with Faye. Faye will be an updo, so she won't have any of her hair down, right? Because she's got like a full ponytail. So the plan that I have for Faye is to cut off basically all of the hair. It sounds weird, but I'm going to cut off most of it, and then when I salvage the wefts, because the thing about wigs is that like they're just glued into like lines. You can't really tell from where we are, but so they're sewn in like vertical lines, right? Not vertical lines, horizontal lines. So I'll take out every single line of hair on the cap, and then I'm going to glue them like going up and then like attached to a PVC pipe so that they look like they're attached to the hair, but they won't actually be. And then there will be a bigger insulation foam base for her hair because it's kind of a bigger updo than Asuka's is. And that'll be how I do it. But it'll be like the ponytail itself will probably be mostly insulation foam. And then I'll just glue hair onto the back. Which sounds so crazy, but I think that these ponytails came out really good, and like you can't see where it's attached, which is really nice. And they stay in place, which is even better, because if it was just like a ponytail that I made with like a literal hair clip, it would look silly and stupid, and you could tell exactly where the wig was like sewn together. So, and because I crimp the wigs, I can be kind of loose with how I move around with it on, so I can do kooky things. What's the plan for the part of the tail that spreads out quite a bit? Just to glue hair around it. If you could see the ponytail under here, you would see that I used a marker to like basically line up exactly where I wanted each strand of this to go, because there's about, I want to say, probably like 20 different wefts on here, because the wefts are that like sewn in part of the hair. So I literally just super glued hair on into the direction that I wanted to, so that when it was falling, it would fall exactly the way I wanted it to. So this is essentially just a tiny version of what Faye's ponytail will look like. And then I'll kind of like, she's got a little bit of a wave to her hair, so I'll probably just heat style it into like a nice curve. And then I'll just constantly have to use a steamer and a blow dryer to do the hair. But that is the plan for Faye's hair. And then she doesn't need any of these spiky bit styles. She'll just need like a really nice swoop, which I hope will be easy, but I might use a little bit of batting. Batting is like oh, I love Lisa. Batting is what is in furniture, essentially. It's like cushioning furniture batting. So I'll probably use that to make a little bump on the top of her hair so that it has more volume than like teasing could do. Because I could tease the existing bangs on the wig and it might look okay, but I don't want to do that. I want it to be right. Because she's got like a very like particular way where like her bangs start on her head and it's back way further than on a wig. So that is the plan. Let me make sure that I can fit all of this before I start pinning and cutting. Yes, it'll be fine. Okay. So I hope that answered your question. I think that there will also be a little bit of aluminum wire to hold up the form, which sounds weird, but there's slight like there's like a slight skeleton under this wig. I can't show you because it's obviously inside the wig, but I have what is essentially like a helmet back there. I have this long piece of like plastic that I heat formed into the shape of my own skull so that it sits exactly where I want it to on the back of my head. So I'll probably do that and then use some wire to reinforce it so that it doesn't move around. But this doesn't really move around a lot, and there's no aluminum wire in this one. But because Faye's ponytail is way bigger than Asuka's, I think I'll want to do that just to be safe. Ow. Ah, yeah, stabbing myself. Always the fun part of sewing. Okay. That should be enough because the thumb is a very easy shape. You can see what I'm doing. Okay. I don't waste too much of the rest of this so that I can use it for the strip for the fingers, and then I can get out the rest. This part, I'm sure I already said that. Is it a pizza cutter for fabric? Yeah. It's a rotary cutter. It's just, I only use it for fabric. In the same way that these scissors are only for cutting fabric, these scissors, or this rotary cutter, is only for cutting fabric. If these ever touched paper, if this ever cut through paper, I'd have to buy new sewing scissors immediately. It would suck. So this also is only used for cutting fabric. It's just easier on my hands to get the sharp edges that I need, which sounds like it shouldn't be that hard, but getting complex curves with fabric and just scissors is not as easy as you'd hope it would be, because fabric doesn't sit the same way that paper does. So when you're cutting fabric, it does move around a lot. And if you pin it too much, then it bunches in a way that isn't true to whatever your pattern is, and that's really frustrating. So being able to use a rotary cutter is helpful. And I find that there's a lot less waste when I use a rotary cutter, because like these bits, even though I could have used the rotary cutter, I can only imagine that thing cuts through pizza like it's nothing. It would. It really would. But then it would just be a pizza cutter. These pieces would be kind of non-existent, like they were for the fingers, if I had more precision with it. Because I'm on stream and because it would be weird, I would be like this, staring down. I don't think that that would be very fun for anybody to look at, with me just intensely staring down at my own work. So for those reasons, I used my scissors to cut out the fingers. Okay, so there's the thumb. I'm gonna put that over there. And then the last piece we need to cut out is this. And then I'm gonna go on to patterning out the top of the glove and then probably the wrist. I might do the wrist first, because that'll be less of a pain for me, but we'll see. Will I actually be able to cut it? No, I'll have to use this side. That's fine. You can actually tell where I kind of cut out this exact piece last time because it's the same shape. Kind of funny. This is ish. I've seen a guy take fabric scissors to those plastic clamshell cases. I've never seen anything cut through those cases that well. Yeah. Fabric scissors are no joke. I remember being a kid and my grandmother giving me scissors without telling me that they were fabric scissors, and I ruined those scissors because they couldn't cut through fabric anymore. And to this day, I still have those scissors. They're actually back on the wall right there, and I only use them for cutting paper, and it was very sad for me. She wasn't upset. I was like 5, I want to say, but I ruined the scissors, and then my dad had to buy her more. Which I don't think my dad cared about. Like, oh no, my mom needs scissors. I'm not gonna buy them. Like, you know, it was like that kind of thing. But yeah, I kept the scissors and I use them for cutting everything else now. I've even bought other scissors since then. These are usually the things I cut with, you can actually kind of tell that they're like wildly different. This is what I use for craft paper and stuff like that, and then these are my sewing scissors. But I've told people as they come over, because some people have asked me, hey, can I use some scissors? And I'm like, yeah, you can use those, and I'll point to these, and I say, do not use these. You will have to buy me a new pair, and you will not be happy. Neither of us will be happy about it, so. Now I make it very clear to people which scissors are allowed for being used and which ones aren't. I used to do cross stitch a lot. It sounds like such an old woman. All of my crafts are sewing and sitting around with my cross stitch. But I used to cross stitch, and I found a pattern once online that I got for free from a seller when I was buying a different pattern of hers. And it said something like, "Death to all of those who dare to use my sewing scissors." I thought about making it and putting it up in my crafting area, but I never have. Also, my fingers hurt from, actually it's my wrist that hurts from cross stitching, so I don't really do that as much anymore, which is a shame, because I really liked doing it, but my body does not permit it. How far did you get in the game? I went through, Tabby, would you call it the ice area? The laser light show ice area? I think that was the last thing I did, right? Yeah. So, I got an achievement when I fought that boss too, which was kind of cool, because I dodged all of the attacks coming down from the screen. Things are about to get silly. I'll be interested to see what happens next. I was supposed to play last week, but Taboo told me that the patch wouldn't be out, so we postponed on me seeing the rest of the game because I'm curious about all the patches that he wants to put in. Could we lay flat, please? Thank you. We're aiming for New Year's now, so well, I'll be gone all next week, so I'm holding you to that, Taboo. I'm just joking. That'll be good for January streams and back to normal after that. Okay, cool. I still need to check out that glossary, too, because you told me that there's so much stuff to look at in the glossary. And it didn't work that first time I played. I think because the patch hadn't come out yet or whatever, right? All right. Go like that. Oh, this man has a powerful voice. Okay, this part's going to be a little bit funky. This reminds me of when I was playing German music last night. That was last night, right? I didn't make that up. I was playing a band called Nevada Tan that I was super into when I was a teenager. That had a song called What Would You Do? It's not called that for real, because that's just the English translation, but the song is basically What Would You Do? I think that they changed their name to Panic once they finally were free of their record label, though. So that song's under the band name Panic. But when I discovered them, they were a band called Nevada Tan, and I loved them very much. All right, you going to submit all your streams of the game to the speedrun charts? Yeah, I'm going for longest speedrun. I feel like because I listen, because Taboo is a saint and voice acted every single lore dump in his game. I listen to every single bit of lore. Every time I find a new area with data mines to listen to, I stop and I listen to the whole thing. Taboo's basically told me that, like, I should probably just do that on a second playthrough, but I refuse! I'm going to figure out the game by myself. If you can imagine it, too, speaking of German bands, Tokyo Hotel was the other one that I was really into when I was a teenager. Who would have thought? My high school didn't offer German when I was in high school, and I was very annoyed. And then my senior year, they offered German, and I was like, well, I don't need a fucking language anymore. This is really annoying. So I very loosely understand German, but do not speak it. When in doubt, the word bitte means whatever you need it to mean. Gosh, dang dang. I need to sharpen these a little bit. I really need to get a whetstone, sharpen my my tools. But for now, this will do. There we go. All right, now I have all the pieces. She's been reading every lore drop. It's true. You're in a crisis. Explain. I wasn't even reading. I was listening thoughtfully to all of the wonderful voice acting in the game. My bad, the taboo put all of his eggs into the lore basket, and I'm... Check stream relevant? Okay, hold on. Boy, tonight, I hope he's a gentleman. I'm in stream relevant. Oh, wait, not yet. Fine. I'll just keep it up on that screen. And I'll see whatever you're talking about eventually. Okay. So, like I said, this part is the thumb. What I'm going to do when I eventually go over to the sewing machine, I'm not going to do that on stream tonight, unfortunately, because I don't have a camera set up over there, is I will sandwich it together like this, and then I'll sew from here about halfway down, and that'll be the thumb, which is exactly what I did with this glove. And then once it's done, it'll be like a very loose circle, and then I'll shove it into this hole in the middle right here, and then it'll be the thumb, and then I can proceed with the rest of it. I ordered 3 pepperoncini peppers. What are you supposed to do with all of those? That's really funny looking. How many... Yeah, how many bits, Samir, are you going to give me for you to eat all of them? No. I said what I meant. All right, I'm going to check to make sure that this is going to work. So the way that this works, like I said, is you kind of like snake it through all the fingers, but you start about a centimeter down from the top, because you basically like, so when I have like the finger, this is like the shape it's making is like a circle or whatever, not circle, a rounded shape. You basically triangle it in on itself. So if this is the area, you go like this. You don't just go like that, you know? Like you don't just sandwich it down like this. You kind of like gracefully fold it like this and then like this. So it makes like a triangle shape. It sounds stupid explaining it out loud, but I swears that's how it works. Okay. So then the thinnest part of this area will divot into here, and then it'll snake around like that. And then in theory, once I'm done making sure that the pattern is right, I should end up about right here. But we will find out shortly if that is the case. Like that, and then go around like this. And then, yep. Okay, so everything's cut out perfectly. I'll probably, back to lurk, I need to deal with this. Samir was like, I just want some pepper. Singular. I want 1, 2, 3. 1 pepper here, 1 pepper there, 1 pepper there. And they were like, what if I gave him 30? Oh, that's good. Chop Suey. I love this song. So now we have the whole glove cut out. I will hopefully be able to sew this soon. You can't tell with this glove, obviously. I sewed it together with yellow thread so that I could tell where all the imperfections were. But essentially what will happen, I'm going to turn it inside out so that you can tell what I'm talking about, is that I will have to do this circle right here, like I said, you can kind of see it right there. So that'll be that bottom circle of this tiny little piece that I'm going to have to gently shove into the tiniest hole in the universe. And then God, this is like impossible. The easiest part is turning it inside out and then never looking at it again. The inside of the glove is horrific. But you can kind of see, this looks insane. Where like the triangle starts right here, because I kind of sewed diagonally and then worked my way around, and that's how all of the fingers are looking. Was working on modding and removing it all into account how many variations there are. It's been a chore. That's crazy. Inside out again, so it's the right way for when I show people what I'm talking about. All right, there we go. And then I didn't finish the end, obviously, but I'm going to hem it. So I think when I have the glove on fully, I'll put it on the right hand now, which is my left hand. It will, because this is about where her glove lays regularly, but because there's the armor piece at the top, like I said, I'm going to hem it down to about probably right here. So I'll need to take 1.5 inches off so that the like armor can sit on it nicely instead of being higher up than necessary. But so that's the first part of the test glove. And now I'm going to move on to patterning out the armor pieces, which, like I said, I'm going to do with saran wrap and duct tape. This is always the hard part, is starting, because saran wrap is impossible to work with. So necessary, because I don't want to just duct tape onto my skin. It would be a really big pain to try to get off. But is what it is. I think I am going to start with the lower piece, because I think this will be more difficult. I'll be able to like stare at this from the top. So let me get this going. I'm also going to bring up the image on my phone like I had it earlier. So that way I can look at it as well as you guys. I'll keep it up on screen, but I am gonna have a easier way of looking at it for me, because it's like it's like a triangle in the front. You never truly get like a crazy good look at it. I take it roulette is your game of choice. Okay, I'm gonna do just the one layer. I don't think I'll need too much saran wrap for this part. Like I said, these are my craft scissors. These aren't my sewing scissors, so I can kind of cut through whatever at this point. You want it to be kind of tight, so when you do the duct tape, it's as flush with your hand as it can be. It goes a little bit down. I might want to do a little bit more down right here. This is also the nice thing, is that this is such a reusable not material, but it's a cheap material to use, since you can get it at any grocery store, since this is primarily supposed to be for food. But it makes a great base for duct tape or painter's tape. If I had painter's tape, I would probably do that, but I do not. In as much of a amount as I do duct tape, because I got a good deal on duct tape when I bought it the first time.
What you mean? Is wrapping up a snack right now.
Am I the snack? With different casino games? In what way? Okay. Now I have to do the really arduous and tedious task of putting a ton of duct tape on myself. Sorry if this is the boring part. We're gonna listen to good jams for a while now. Because this is, not super precise, but I need to make sure I get enough on and that it's not making weird shapes. Because sometimes duct tape will overlap onto itself and it makes weird bumps, and that won't be good for the final product. So I gotta make sure that I do this fairly carefully and that I leave enough space for my skin to breathe. Because if I start to lose circulation, that could be really bad. This is much easier when you have a second person to help you with it. But, that is not the world we live in currently, so. This will be on my own, I think. Ooh, I like whatever this is. Taboo definitely suggestion is. Oh, it took the Japanese. Is this the song you wanted, Taboo? I like whatever the vibe is. I'm gonna cut out like 5 or 6 more strips of duct tape before I keep going. I'm also going to use this method, this weird method, for the... Do you have identical non-fabric scissors? That sounds like it's one drink away from ruining good ones. I don't think I can read it from here. My eyesight's not that good. It's very tiny on Spotify. Good lord. Hello, Nick! I thought you were streaming right now, bud. What happened to the metaphor stream? The singer in this expresses something you rarely see in Japanese, where they really sound intense. They're not identical. You can't tell really up close, or I mean, you can't tell through the camera. These are matte up here, and these are glossy. Oh, you kind of see how this one like has like a shine when I move it around? This one doesn't. They feel entirely different. These are heavy. Or, I'm sorry, these are light. My sewing scissors are heavy. Game's not going anywhere. Fair enough, man. Especially after hearing your power went out. I would not be worried about playing games either. Ugh. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. She's also gasping a lot, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, that's the, I'm being really intense, and I'm trying to not lose my breath. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. It's kind of almost enough. It goes almost to her elbow, the spike. But then, like, when she's like this, so this side, when you look at it, it's almost about right here, I want to say. But when she's got her hand out like this, it's about where the tape ends. I'm going to do a little bit more just in case. No, I don't really like to drink, so that won't ever be an issue for me. Also, I would never use scissors while I was drinking. That sounds like a terrible idea. I never get so drunk that I don't know what I'm doing. Because I've known plenty of people that have made really bad mistakes while drinking. So I tend to be the ZDD, as it were. The only time I drink, typically, is right here with you guys. Other than that, alcohol kind of icky, though. Just personally. Okay. I think I almost got everything. Oh my gosh, My Chemical Romance. That band that betrayed me and made their tickets impossibly expensive? How will I ever forgive them? Okay. I think going like this, I think I got enough because it kind of like loops over her glove a little bit. Let me look down at the picture. I'm looking at it on my phone, like I said. It kind of like bunches up right over her wrist. I might just make this a separate accessory entirely. And then attach this part to the part on her, on the top of her hand. So that that like maybe zips on. Because it's a weird accessory that a whammon might not be able to put on in real life. And then the top kind of looks like the blue bit in the middle of the glove is the thing that's strapping it on. But in the concept art, or this character sheet rather, because this is, I have the bottom and then the hair, or not the bottom, the back and the hair. It kind of looks that way. Logistically speaking, I'm gonna try to make it look as accurate to the model as possible, obviously. That's it is a booty. I wasn't wrong. But I meant her backside. That is still her butt. Oh well, you guys understood what I meant. I hope. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna make this out of EVA foam and then probably put a zipper in the back so that it kind of doesn't lose its shape every time I try to like shove it over my wrist. The dumpy, yes, the dumpy, if you will. I'm gonna do a little bit more right here because it seems like it kind of comes down slightly over her wrist to like hide the connecting point for that triangular bit. And I'd rather get the whole thing in one go than be like, ah, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Okay. There we go. And then I'm just going to use any old Sharpie and start tracing on the design as loosely as possible. But like I said, it kind of looks like it's really high up in the front. I gotta put this on Do Not Disturb. Don't look at me. I'm Do Not Disturb. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, her elbow's right here. And then it goes down a little bit. I'm going to put more duct tape on just to be safe. Have you experimented with different power-ups in the game? What's your favorite so far? That makes you run faster? I don't want to run faster. That would be a nightmare for me. The thing that I like to do is take my time in all games because I find that I don't have good control in video games. It's my curse. I don't like running. So I haven't been using that one. I've been using, God, it's been a couple weeks. And I can't remember what they all look like. I was using the treadmill. I do remember that. And the Shiba. Pretty sure I immediately started using the Shiba. And the baseball bat? Is that what it was? Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you guys. Baseball helmet. Yeah, I knew it was baseball themed. I remember more about what Taboo tells me about the inspiration behind things than the literal thing, which probably isn't the best, but his fun lore drops about the development of the game. You got the clock. It's a real pain resetting the game to get it early on when you're trying to speedrun it. I'm sorry. And then I haven't been using it at all because I don't want to run. Isn't that something? You're like, oh, I would kill for that. I'm like, that's nice, not for me. Okay. Elbow right there, and then in the front, it probably comes down to about right. Yeah. I go like right here. That's the low point. It kind of slouches too. It goes like up to about right here in the back. And then on the front, it goes up to about right here, I would say. So it's like Good Charlotte was my favorite band growing up. And then I saw them on TRL, which again is an old person phrase to say. And they destroyed my expectations of what I wanted out of my musicians as a child. Because they wore stupid outfits in a music video. And it ruined everything. I think you guys can't really see what I'm doing. I mean, you could tell, but boy howdy, is this not the easiest. This is the tricky part because I'm guesstimating a lot of stuff. Because this is the middle of my wrist. So I need it to be like that. The nice thing is, the worst I could do is get it wrong and have to do it over again. I'm actually gonna there's a mirror that I do my makeup with so that I can kind of see what I'm doing. Because as long as I can tell what it's looking like, I don't think that's a bad thing. Almost looking right. Like this. It's doing the thing that I think it should do. But it's slightly over. I need it to be needs to be about right here instead. And then I'm going to overlap so that I know where the new mark is. That's better. And then it should start to be about right here. Right? Yeah, that way you can see where it is. Let you double up power-ups. Taboo, how quickly did you go, oh, that was a mistake, and patch that out? Yeah, okay. That's more correct. And then I can kind of refine it as time goes. Pretty quick. It's too quick. I always hear that kind of stuff from speedrunners where they're like, I wish the devs would keep in all of my exploits, and then the devs are like, that's not what I wanted for my game. I don't know what to do. I watch a guy on YouTube named Astral Spiff. Sometimes I tune into his streams. We did leave in a lot of tech. But it's always funny to hear the stuff that he's like, I would have kept that in the game. And he's like, I wish the devs would have done it. Is their official leaderboard? Ooh. When the game's officially out, will you, Oh, that's kind of cool, though. Yeah, and then it slouches slightly over her palm, which is exactly where I have the tape. So I'm gonna kind of do like a loose thing. And then palm, middle, right there. I'm gonna go like that to make it more symmetrical on both sides. And then I will do a line because that's where I'm going to cut it out. so I can cut myself out of it. Because the important part is being able to cut yourself out of your work. If you can't get yourself out, then that's a problem. And the nice thing is, once I have this off of my arm, I can kind of clean up the lines. I might actually take pictures so that I can clean it up in Photoshop or Illustrator or something like that. But I think that for the most, it looks insane on right now. But I think for the most part, it looks as close as I can get it without doing a like test cutout. I think I'll use some leftover foam. I keep a lot of craft foam too so that I can test out. The other thing I'm about to do is I'm going to put these little dashes on my line in the back so that when I make a foam cutout, I know to put little notches on either side, so when I glue it back together, it lines up perfectly. But like I said, I might just install a zipper instead and go from there. But now this is the only dangerous part where I try to not cut into my own skin, but it should be okay. That's what the saran wrap was there for, is so I could get under the duct tape to cut it out. Like I said, this is much easier if you have someone around to help you, but it's not the end of the world to cut yourself out. There we go. And then you can just peel it off. What was the process with the tape for the brighter purple stuff? What do you mean? All right. And then the thing that you really want to do is try to flatten it out as much as possible, but with complex curved shapes, that's not always super easy. So, like, what are you doing right now? I'm doing the light purple area so that I can make a pattern that fits perfectly to my body so that I can transfer it to some foam and then test out what it looks like over the test glove. So if I like the way that it looks over the test glove, I can go ahead and just start cutting out foam and the lighter purple. I do also have the lighter purple in this bag as well, under loads and loads of the darker purple. But here's the light purple and the darker purple. So those will be the two colors I use for most of the outfit, to be honest. And then I got a little bit of the yellow for the gems, and the like hollow blue should be in here. Yeah, I got this nice hollow. It kind of does like a duochrome effect where it does purple, which I thought would look good with the darker purple shade that I got. I felt like I was going crazy in the fabric store when I was buying the majority of the fabric, because I thought that the base of her outfit was more black than it was purple, but Taboo sent me in the right direction. So thank goodness I can ask the literal dev of the game what color I should be getting, or I would just be so lost. Okay, and then I just need to clean this up, cut off the excess. There we go. Do. And then I try to just stick to the outermost Sharpie lines, because those are typically the last lines that I drew on, which means they're the ones that I was trying to go off of. But there's no harm in relining up your hash marks on the back so that you can cut it out perfectly. But yep, it was the top ones, so we are good to keep cutting. And then we cut over here. There we go. Hello. Duct tape. You are not attached anymore. All right. And then there is the pattern for the lower arm. I think I'll still clean it up, like I said, because I'd like the point to be more in the middle. It's slightly to the right, which is fine. It's fixable, but I think in the final outfit, I'll want it to be over slightly. But yeah. Did you read this? Ever thought about making a papier-mâché arm to save time if you're planning on doing more outfits? At some point, I would like to get, like, this is incredibly wishful thinking, but I have a 3D printer in the back. It's generally hidden right here, but, oh, Dave, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Generally hidden right here behind my tree, but I would like to, there's so many different 3D modeling apps that you can use with your phone to, like, do like a 3D scan of your own body. I think eventually I'd like to 3D print out body parts so that I can do that. Because I have a dress form, so I don't have to do big parts of my body usually, because I can just do it on the dress form. But for things like this, it's not that much of a hassle. It's just kind of a bummer when I can only do it alone. Not ideal. Okay. And then the next part I want to do is the top of the arm, obviously. I don't need to do the blue parts because those are just straps. So I'm not going to worry about patterning that out, obviously. But the next part is the bit up here, which doesn't seem to go down too far. It maybe ends about right here. So I only need maybe like 5 or 6 inches of duct tape around the top of my arm. God, I used to listen to this song all the time when I was in college because I was taking Spanish classes, and this was the only way I could hype myself up to go into Spanish classes. I was like, Buddy Nielsen also is not fluent in Spanish, so it's okay if I also am okay at best at speaking Spanish. And then I passed that class, so it must have worked out. All right. Cut out some of it. But you're absolutely not wrong. Having an extra model of my arm would be way easier than doing this, in theory. But this is what most cosplayers do for some reason, and they're not wrong. So, if it ain't broke, exactly. And the one I saw someone do the other day was they 3D modeled their head so that wigs would be easier to style, which is just so crazy to think about. Oh, it's Spirit Box. Sick. This is going to take a lot of duct tape, this part, because I need to get around my whole top of my arm. I have about 30 minutes to do it before I have to go. Ah, modern baseball. I love it. Gone too soon they were. As nice as Slaughter Beach Dog is, it's not the same. It's just crazy to think about. They made an album called You're Gonna Miss It All, and they disappeared. Even though Holy Ghost was their last, but that's neither here nor there. Were you here the other day, Nick, when I was ranting about the fact that Brand New might come out of the hole that they deserve to climb into? Because It ain't right. Jesse Lacey needs to stay gone. All right. And then we're going to do the same exact thing. Hello and good night. Thank you, Cuddle Pie. Yeah, they did a secret show in Tennessee the other night. People were like, oh, I'm so excited for them to come back. Bitch, no, don't be excited. Do not be excited. Don't listen to all of these teenagers that weren't around when he wrote that twit longer. Congratulations! Oh my goodness. At least this streak is still going. No, my duct tape! Thank you for the 21. That's almost 2 years. God, can you believe I've almost been streaming 2 years? Because I reached affiliate the same month I started streaming. Oh, that sucks. I ruined this piece of tape. Bummer. It's okay. Casualties were bound to happen. Had to stop boy for sleepy sleeps. I appreciate it. Always happy to see you in chat. Have a good bedge. Okay. Man, I cut out like exactly the right amount too, and then I beefed that one that I just had go over on itself. Hello? End of the tape. Sorry, I had to stare intently down to find it. Okay. Now, it might be 2 pieces. That's okay. Not the end of the world. Yeah, I need like 1 more. Did you hear? I saw that you added Alice in Chains. Did you hear the unfortunate news about them taking COVID money, COVID relief money, and then pocketing it? I was like, aw, come on, guys. Be better than that. A ton of people did, apparently. Like Lil Wayne and Chris Brown did as well. Steve Aoki. The list was crazy. Yeah. So Lil Wayne took like $9 million in COVID relief funds for musicians and then just kept it for himself, not for his business. And then Chris Brown used like $3 million on his birthday party that year. Isn't that fucking insane? So crazy. No, it was government funds. It was the stuff that they got through the government relief COVID funds. It wasn't like they just did the money on their own. Steve Aoki took money to be able to fund paying the officers of his company. Turns out he's the only officer of his company. So he just took money. Why these people get millions in relief? I feel like a couple hundred, but yeah, but like according to the reports, a lot of smaller like artists that did need it got it and used it correctly. But there were like all of these famous ass fucking musicians that just took money that they didn't need. Isn't that crazy? It's not surprising. Let me just say that I'm not surprised. Oh man, I miss modern baseball. But like hearing the amount of money these people were taking, Marshmello, the DJ, took money. Like, what did you need it for? Nothing. For private jets and paying exotic dancers to dance at your birthday party. Because I just did. It just be like that sometimes. Okay. The inside is not bad. Because I don't even need to do this part, but it goes down. Okay, so the back. I'm like challenged by the proportions. Okay, the side.
The official shill master is here. Better post those socials, but not so he can DM you. It's Steve.
And said the government would never come after him. Government coming after them for abusing relief money. Isn't that so wild? I'm glad that somebody else has heard about this, so that I'm not just like talking bullshit for no reason. The only thing you can think of is canceled shows and tours. No, they didn't even like. They applied to use it for like, not to like cover costs or anything like that, but so that they could like afford stuff that like a corporation would use them for. Exactly. And it's just like the news just came out about a bunch of musicians though, and Nick put in Alice in Chains, and that's what made me think of it. I was disappointed by a lot of the list, but then there were unsurprising ones, like I said. So, okay, yeah. It goes about right there on the side. So, back to the mirror. I'm gonna go with, it's like right there. And then it's kind of, it's not necessarily thin, this strip, but it goes down. Just like there, and then all the way to about right there. Right above the elbow. But then the inner bit is like all the way around. It goes like this and then down to about right here, actually. Went too far. So that line is insane, but it'll connect and that's okay. But yeah, between the brand new news, which made me very upset, Jesse Lacey should stay in his lane and be irrelevant still. I don't know who told that man that it was time to come out of hiding, because it certainly was not. But that and all of the musicians that took relief money. Doo-doo garbage. Doo-doo garbage, people. And I don't feel bad about saying it. Where Lynxie cuts off her arm circulation, but it's fine because cosplay will be great. Brand new. The band Brand New. The song still rules, though. I don't think I could break out of the tape. Okay, yeah. And then it's just all the way down. It's just like a stark, like, 90-degree angle. Yeah, it's on her side like that, so. God, this looks insane. It'll look fine when I do. Oh, I just touched myself. When I think about you. Okay, there we go. And then I can kind of connect it. Ah, hold on. I can see what I'm doing. It's loose and it'll work. And then I'll cut myself out right here. This one's gonna take a little bit of finagling to get right, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. The copium I'm going through right now. Classified now as divorced dad music. So, like, Skillet and, like, Saliva. Do you listen to Nickelback? I would also quad them as divorced dad. I thought someone from Alice in Chains did something. I almost lost it. They did. Sorry, they did. They took COVID relief funds when they didn't need it. They took millions of dollars that they didn't need to take. I'm sorry that you had to find out this way. They just happened to do the same thing, but I think that the Chris Browns and the Lil Waynes took it for, like, absorbent things, like private jet flights, and buying, like, service for, no, the whole band, the band itself took the money. Because to take COVID relief money, you had to do it through, like, your company, right? So, like, Alice in Chains is, like, its own entity. So Alice in Chains, the band, did it. Not one specific person. Like, they just did as a whole. This one's scary. Hey, as a tip, never cut towards yourself like I just did. Don't do as I did. Do as I say, not as I do. No, they're not bad. You'd think that Warg did this. How else are you going to see what you're cutting? It's true. That's why I say, like, the easiest way to do any of this stuff is to have someone to do it with you so that they can cut you out. Someone you trust, obviously. But again, I do not have that at the moment, so we're working with what we got. I'm trying to put all my trash together. I'm pasted Dave Grohl right now. I guess Alice in Chains will be on the list for a while. Dave Grohl is such a butt. And, like, what, why? For what reason? Like, and then the thing that makes me even angrier about that is all the people that are like, oh, well, he's a musician. His wife should expect it. No. That's not how cheating works. I should not expect to be cheated on just because of my husband's profession. In theory, I'm not married, obviously, but, like, in theory, just because he's a musician doesn't mean that it's okay. He's on the road a lot. Who cares? But I looked up to that guy, it hurt. That's how I felt about Brand New. I thought Jesse Lacey was a fucking savant. I thought his music was phenomenal. The second that Allegations with a 14-year-old girl came out, and then he was like, oh, actually, I just have a Really? You're gonna blame 14-year-old girl stuff on sex addiction? No, I don't believe you. So anyway, that was all to say. I can't separate the art from the artist when stuff like that is involved. And it's concerning that other people can. All right. So, I might do this one again, to be honest. I don't know that I like the way that this one came out, but I think as far as the shape, actually, it's upside down. It doesn't matter. I know which way it was. But, yeah. I think I need to make it a little bit wider. That large bands have lead singers who are just fucking all the time. But they're not all like that. That's the thing that really bothers me about shit like that, is that not all musicians are like that. But people are like, oh, well, he's in a band. No. Not all people are bad people just because you assume that one dude is bad, you know? So, I do not stand with cheaters. If you're that big, Foo Fighters big, that doesn't excuse you. That doesn't excuse Dave Grohl. Okay. So, back to the test glove. Put this on. We're pretending. And then, hacha! Oh, hold on. But I think those are the main parts of the glove. They're a little bit funky because they're no longer taped around my body, but I think for the most part, it is coming into... It's all coming together. And then I need to do this part, like I said. But I think I'm going to eyeball that. Have a long... Yeah, but I didn't have the saran wrap to do that. So I am gonna... Because this is the other thing about it. Ugh. And I did this with my Malinois outfit. The next part is to always lay these flat and then get like movers paper. Because this is just for the general placement on my body, right? So I'm going to change the shape because it's crooked too, which is no good. You can kind of tell it's crooked, and I don't like that. But I'm going to take these two parts lay them out as flat as possible, because sometimes, because it's going around my body and 3D objects can't be laid super flat, but to make it as flat as possible, I am a perfectionist. I can get the paper. I use Movers paper. It's a big roll that you can get at Home Depot, which most people use to lay down so that they can walk around a construction site. That's the primary use of this paper, but it's really thick, which is what I like it for. It looks like just a big roll of butcher's paper almost. You could use butcher's paper in theory, but I like this Movers paper. And Ramboard and stuff like that. I also really like Ramboard, but... So, the thing I'm going to do is roll out this thicker paper, considering it was on the back of your arm. Exactly. So, I'm going to lay it out when I cut out this paper. I'm not going to do this right now. But I lay it out, I trace it on, and then I refine the shape. Cut it out in older EVA foam that I have. And then I test it again. And if I don't like that, Shine Out. Yes! Shine Down! That was another big band. I'm sorry, you had to look all this up. So, I'm going to use this paper. Like I said, this is just regular moving paper. It's literally used to just lay across the floor, but it's sturdy enough that I like using it for patterns. When I figure out how much to take off of my fingers, I'm going to do the same thing with this pattern. And then that becomes my permanent pattern that I put with my box full of patterns. I got to get Christmas presents wrapped. I did a Christmas shoot recently, which again, you can check out on Patreon. And I had to wrap a bunch of fake presents. So I have a bunch of wrapping paper I used on old Amazon boxes, but they looked really good in my pictures. But wow, what the fuck, I like Shine Down. Yeah, I'm so sorry that you guys had to find out that a lot of our favorite musicians are pieces of shit. And greedy. They had corporate greed. But I think that was all I was planning on doing. The other thing that I thought I might get to was not Faye related, but I am currently rebuilding my Lance of Longinus. And I've been slowly but surely sanding all of the parts that I had to fuse together. So that was the other thing that I was going to do if I didn't have enough to fill or talk about with Faye. But you'd think that something like gloves would be simple, but they're not. Yes, it was a lot of money. It was too much money. Yup. You like reading that shit out loud? 'Cause I certainly didn't. Little bit of sport you've been saving for his mattress. Yeah. Again, Steve Aoki said that he was getting it for the officers of his company, and then he's the only officer. Which blew my mind to read. I thought that was insane. I'll stop listening to music. Again, nothing can hurt me the way that finding out that Brand New had to be... Because this is the other thing about Brand New, is that the year before, they were on tour. This is one of the most iconic shows I've ever been to, too. Brand New, the headliner. The Front Bottoms and Modern Baseball opened up for them, who are two of my favorite bands. Brand New used to be one of my favorite bands. I have literally all of their albums on vinyl sitting back there. Fuck the guy from Lost Prophets. That's the worst human that's ever existed. But, yeah. At that Brand New show, it was the last time I ever saw Brand New live. On the back of the screen, it said Brand New 2003 to 2018. Like it was a death date. Like they were saying the band's ending. The band ended because Jesse Lacey turned out to be a predator. And it happened to be in 2018. So he wrote his own death sentence right there, I guess. But yeah, he might have the audacity to come back. Again, the rest of the band, I assume didn't know. And shouldn't incur the repercussions of one person. But I don't want Brand New to come back. And I can't believe that 1 million people still listen to them every month on Spotify and that people are justifying that. Maybe that didn't happen. He wrote a tweet longer about the fact that he understood what was going on and that his wife knew. Why are we even having a discussion about it? Anyway, I don't want to get lost in the sauce on that too long. Was Lost Prophets popular outside of the ATV video games for the Oh, they were huge. Lost Prophets was gigantic. They were a big deal. Fred Durst seems like one of the like chillest dudes in the world. One of my favorite clips of Fred Durst is one where he's talking about baby metal, and then he shames the crowd. He goes, "They're children. You should be ashamed." He goes, "No, no." Also, Fred Durst's icon on Twitter and on TikTok are like Rei Ayanami from Evangelion. He just seems like a weird, chill dude. So I hope nothing bad ever comes out about him. But the fact that everyone hates on Fred Durst, but he seems like such a silly guy. Right! Like, he just seems like a chill guy. I don't get it. People's alignments to what they like are insane. Yeah, he's a Rei fan. He's a Rei Ayanami fan. Not Asuka, which is what I imagine from Fred Durst. If he's going to like Evangelion. But yeah, his icon on TikTok, the last time I looked, was of Rei Ayanami. My back is already in shambles with Zoinkers. I was also going like this. Not bad. Here, hold on. Is that good? I could go like this. Really get my posture going, but kind of reminds me of how everyone went through Eminem is great, Eminem sucks, and finally Eminem is the greatest phases around 2010. I can't do a handstand. I will die. Sorry to say. But yeah, I think that is it for the stream right now. Like I said, it was going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. Death on stream for free. Make sure to make content out of it if I die. So that, you know, I can be remembered forever for the 15 minutes that forever is on TikTok before it gets banned. Was a police girl from Helsinki. I would have suspected, actually, not Asuka, a Misato guy. Fred Durst strikes me as a Misato guy. And a Faye guy. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I think he would dig Faye's vibe. But no, Rei. His goofy cousin. True. Hyperkid, thank you for the follow. What the hell? He really does just... I told you! I fucking told you! The haters didn't believe me. I'm just joking. I have the blue girl in a case right here behind this wall. Yeah. I'm gonna say like the main future Fragments character. You know what? Fair. She do be having the blue hair and the vibes, you know? Sorry, it was a chef's kiss hand, but I went like this so you couldn't see it. But yeah. I think that's it. I think that's all I got time for. Talia, worst girl. That's okay. I'm being... Oh, sorry. Wrong way. I'm being Faye, best girl. Faye is bae. See, you get it. And clearly is okay with taking one for the team or many. Sorry, I had to do it to him. Hold on, he's like this. You know I had to do it to him. Yeah, Dave and I have to go. I'm so sorry to say this. I hope that you enjoyed my process of making another glove so that I can make sure that this one doesn't go to waste. My measurements. Thank you, Taboo. I'm excited to see more of it. I think the next time you see me doing cosplay prep, I will hopefully have the gloves done, and then I can move on to dogs for free. I can move on to the leg bits. I think that the leggings are the next part I really want to work on the full thing. Do you think it'll take longer to finish the outfit or beat the game? It'll take longer to finish the outfit in theory. But because I do, once the cosplay is done, I will be doing a stream where I play the game as Faye. Me as Faye. Because I don't know if you can play as Faye, though I don't imagine you can, unless there's something special that I don't know about in the game and Taboo hasn't told me. That would be wild. Sorry, I just got so distracted by the audacity of Jared Leto. I just hope you don't reenact any of her scenes. Faye plays with Talia. That will be the name of the stream. But yeah, if you would like to see more updates, I will be posting on my Patreon at patreon.com/Lynxicat. If you want to get special just for you posed photos, you can subscribe to my highest tier, and any of the cosplay tiers on Patreon will see photo sets. I was going to say shoot and set, and then I couldn't get out either word, but we'll see photo shoots and photo sets, probably behind the scenes videos and special photos. But there will be eventually a free version too that I would like to post everywhere. So whichever way you would like to see her, there will be more of Faye in the future. I really want to do her right, so I'm taking my time with her. I know that sounds probably like a bad thing, but this took me, just crimping this wig took me 8 hours. And then it took me another 11 hours just to do these ponytails, which are, again, crooked because I put the wig on crooked and I have to keep adjusting it. And then the bangs took like 4 hours. So this is a long and arduous process of making all of my things right. I let it happen. Come on.
My sources have just informed me that the streamer was being sus and said, I want to do Faye right.
Sorry that I'm right. But yeah, I want to make sure that she's perfect. Especially, this is probably my most revealing cosplay that I've ever personally done. So I also, for up in here, I want to look good. I want to look snatched. And Faye is snatched. I don't know if you can tell, but Faye is snatched. And I would like to look snatched. So we are going to take our time with this process. I will give as many updates as possible. I will let Taboo give me the go-ahead on everything that gets done, but yeah, you will see more of me soon, I'm sure. This is an excuse for hitting the gym, but doesn't want to admit getting them gains. No, actually, I have been going to the gym, though, recently, because I just want to be healthy for myself. In 2025, I would like to be able to not get winded if I ever have to run away from someone for any reason. So, yeah. But, yeah, thank you for watching. If you would like to see more of me, please feel free to check out my socials using the command !shill. All of my socials can be found there. Sometimes I post tutorials on TikTok, and I've just made a new YouTube channel for Lynxicat Cosplay where I'm going to be posting even more tutorials. Oh my god, wow, so you can see me do all of this stuff as I make my own costumes. Or you can go to my TikTok that's just Lynxicat, and you can see me do silly little dances in the cosplay I've already made. But yeah, if you haven't been here before, I also do gameplay. So there will be gaming tomorrow if you're into that thing. But for now, Dave is gonna wave. I am gonna hit the end screen. I hope that you have a great Friday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for coming. Faye will be gone then. I'm so sorry, Faye. You have to leave the stream. Have a good night, guys. Have a great weekend. And Friday. You will see me tomorrow. What's tomorrow? I'm doing commentary over gameplay on Elden Ring. Yes, yes. So if you'd like to see some Elden Ring gameplay that I'm going to judge severely, you can see that. And also, my IT guy will be making an appearance since people donated for that. So, all that and more tomorrow. You're just judging it and not playing it. I've beaten Elden Ring like 5 times on the channel, so I did the DLC twice. And then I randomized it, and I played it regular, and then I did a challenge run. So I have played Elden Ring a lot, and I will continue to play Elden Ring a lot. I love Elden Ring. I love Dark Souls. There will be more of it in the future. Those are the things I like. Someday, I will speedrun Dark Souls, That's the dream, is to speedrun Dark Souls 1, to finally not be a pussy and use the red tear stone ring and one-shot bosses in like 2 hours. But that's not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Elden Ring. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great Friday night. I will see you tomorrow on Saturday at the regularly scheduled time of 4 p.m. And yeah, hope to see you there. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.